Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. This is the Canadian Weasel. You got me, the Weasel, otherwise known as Knack Toothy. We got the generic Canadian.
Howdy.
And we got our special guest this evening. We got Connor Coffey. How's it going, Connor?
It's going gay. Good.
Oh boy.
Oh,
all right.
man.
All right. We good. Okay. So, you want to tell us a little bit about yourself, Connor?
Hello, all. I am 22, Southern, rugby player, movie aficionado, and hardcore gamer.
Oof.
Hell yeah, man. So,
Uh-huh.
what kind of games do you like to play?
Oh, any kinds except sport.
You're not into like NHL or anything?
I'm sorry, I'm not into it.
Nah, yeah. Me neither, actually. Like, I'm not a big fan of like sports and shit. Like, I mean, I always grew up following like one sports team in hockey. Like my parents or like my dad always went for like just one team. So I mean, I was kind of raised up with that same team. But I mean, I never really watched much of it.
Nah, I can see why.
Yeah.
Yeah, sports are kind of boring.
Yeah, man.
But
I mean,
so you mentioned you're pretty into movies, right?
Oh yeah, man. Wasn't until around 2009 where I started going deeper into movies.
Okay. So what would you say are some of your favorite movies, like of all time?
Well, let me get out my top 5 favorite movies of all time. Number 1, I'm. It's called A Clockwork Orange.
oh
Okay.
man, I've
Hell yeah.
I think I've seen at least some of it. I can't remember if I watched the whole thing, but yeah,
Aw, man, you need to watch the whole thing.
I've heard of it, but I'm not 100% sure if I finished it.
Dang.
I gotta search it up real quick. Yeah, I never finished it.
No, was it too much for you?
I'm not much of a movie guy if I'm by myself, you know, like I can watch movies with someone else perfectly fine, but if I'm by myself, even if it's something I haven't seen, I just can't keep watching, you know, like I just can't do it.
Damn.
It's weird. Like I downloaded the Pick of Destiny the other day, and I watched like, I don't know, maybe a third of it, and I just turned it back off again.
Damn. Killing me.
Yeah, I'm not much of a movie watcher myself, but
Killing me too.
well, I mean, my problem is I just can't sit still.
Same, dude.
That's why I play guitar and shit, you know, because I can't sit still. If I'm sitting down, then I'm probably doing something with my hands, you know, like smoking a cigarette or, you know, vaping, or I'm on the computer typing something or playing guitar or whatever. But, you know, if I'm going to watch something, I can guarantee you 100% of the time I'm watching anime.
That is believable.
Yeah, you know me very well, so... But, anyway, you were giving us your top 5 favorite movies, so you gave us Clockwork Orange, and what else?
Oh yeah, Clockwork Orange. That's number 1. Number 2. Oh come on. Now I know you. Clark. No.
Oh, jeez.
What was it?
Clerks.
Man, I can't remember if I watched it or not. I know it, and I think a buddy of mine had it, but I can't remember if I watched it.
Oh damn. Yeah, I mean, like the daily life of two 22-year-old cashiers.
Yeah, man.
Oh, it's
Oh,
so
shit.
accurate too.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, working in a grocery store, I definitely know the cashier life. Good times.
Oh, jeez. Actually, I can't say I know it.
I was never actually a cashier, but I was close to some of the cashiers. Now, one of them was pretty cute.
Oh.
Hey, man.
Uh,
That counts.
Hey, it totally counts.
Oh yes.
That's a bonus in anyone's book.
That.
Oh, jeez. Okay, and number 3?
Number 3, I would think every teenager has seen this, probably not, but The Breakfast.
Oh, yeah.
Never.
Yep.
Are you fucking kidding me?
Or maybe I heard you wrong. What'd you say?
The Breakfast Club?
Oh, well, yeah, I know that. Okay.
Good.
Yeah, okay. I think you cut off a little bit from me. Yeah.
Oh, that's...
Yeah, I had an ex-girlfriend when I used to be pretty obsessed with like the 70s and 80s, and she made me watch that with her.
Oh man, dude, kind of the same. Like, I got this friend and she's like totally into that like older stuff and like black and white movies and stuff. And she got me to watch The Breakfast Club too.
Well, actually, Breakfast Club is colored, but
yeah, I know, but it's still like 70s.
Yeah, older. Yeah, I know what you mean.
Ah, right. Okay. Problem.
The number 4?
No, number 4 is actually more of a recent movie. It came out in 2012. You might have heard of it. Called Cloud at.
I actually don't think I've heard of it.
No.
Oh man, when it came out, it got such receptions, shit. I mean, watch it. It's like it boggles your mind. Like you're probably living the life of a Union soldier, and then 300 years later, you're like some Asian dude trying to take back North Korea.
That's intense.
Jeez.
Yeah. It's like it's reincarnation.
Yeah.
That's what I love about it.
Man, if reincarnation is real, I hope I come back as a dog or something.
Dude. No, if reincarnation was real, I want to come back as like a worm or something.
Oh.
Why a worm?
Dude, think about it. You'd be like crawling underground and stuff, Dude, you could see like after living life on Earth, you could like walk around and you would be seeing the world as like a person, like as we are now, right? But then if you came back as a worm, you could like live life underground and you would know what underground is like. And then like if I was to die again and it came back, I would want to come back as like a bird the third time, so I could fly around and I could experience everything, like, different things,
Oh man.
Okay, so if you had to be reincarnated, Connor, in the next life, what would you come back as?
I would come back as an elephant.
Why an elephant?
Why an elephant? Huh?
Because they're big and smart.
Yeah,
and they live, and they live as long as human.
That's fair.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
I can see that.
I mean, your mom, when you're growing up, your mom's like, better drink your milk so you can grow up big and strong. I mean, I guess if you're an elephant,
Yeah, I guess you kind of get your goals,
Yeah, man. I mean, you really get them reps,
Oh God.
Get them reps. Yeah.
Oh God.
All right. So, number 5. What's your 5th favorite movie?
Here's another one that I swear to God, if you haven't seen this one, Fight Club.
Oh, I haven't seen
Fight Club. Yep.
Fucking love it. That was initially the movie that got me into smoking because I thought it was so cool and.
Oh jeez. Jeez.
Yeah.
And even knowing that Brad Pitt in real life 2 to 3 packs a day.
Oh man.
Oh man, that's lit. Oh jeez, that dude's lit, dude. That dude's lit all the time.
Yep.
Jeez. Alright, so... let's touch on something that's just a little bit out of the ordinary here. So we got, poo. Okay, so, if you could be any character in a movie, what character would it be? And why?
Yeah, it would totally be Alex DeLarge from A Clockwork Orange, honestly.
Okay. And why would you choose him?
It's like, the age of 15, I'm going down the wrong path. I'm going around beating up other people, raping women, and robbing mansions, but then I discover a cure. I'm being cured, and I'm realizing, I'm getting a taste of my own medicine for what I've done to people. I want that. Totally want that.
Oh man, that's deep.
Yeah, yeah, man.
That's some deep shit. Okay. But anyways, so I got an article up here. This is pretty interesting. You could take it with a grain of salt, of course, because whatever. We definitely heard this a few different times before, but I figured since it's recent news, it'd be something pretty interesting. So, newly discovered nearby planet could support life. By the way, this is an article that is on CNN, so...
I did hear about that.
Yeah, the article reads, you may want to get used to the name Ross 128b. The newly discovered exoplanet is the second closest found to our solar system, only 11 light years away, and it could support life. Announcements about exoplanets, those found outside our solar system, and almost commonplace in this golden age of discovery for astronomers. So why is Ross 128b unique apart from its rather human-sounding name? The planet is about the same size as Earth, and it may have similar surface temperature, making it a temperature world that could support life. So, we've definitely heard, stories like this similar in the past. You got, space scientists. I can't think of a better name for it right now.
Like astronomers?
Yeah, astronomers, scientists, and all that other stuff, So
space scientists.
Yeah, man, space explorers.
Space invaders, bro.
Space invaders, bro. Smoke them up. So we've definitely heard stories like this before. They've been trying to find life on Mars. They've been trying to figure.
We've heard about the super planets before too, right?
Yeah, super planets.
Oh yeah, we always learn about new. They have another term for it, super Earth.
Yeah.
But they call it that because it's like they can sustain life.
For sure, but I mean, like I said, we've heard stories like this before, and they always, they search and they search and they search for life on these planets, and nothing really convincing ever comes out of it. You know what I mean? Like they might say something like, "Oh, I found some kind of crazy bacteria," or never mind, it was just some little bacteria-sized pebble in this microscope that we thought was bacteria. Obviously that's not an actual story or anything, but you get what I'm trying to say. It's like,
yes,
if they find something, they don't quite have it.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. Take this with a grain of salt, but moving on from that, what would happen if they were to one day actually find life on these planets?
It could either be a good thing or, I doubt it would be a bad thing.
Right. Because, if, let's say we did find other, living, breathing, and talking beings out there. I'm one of those, I don't necessarily believe that we're alone in the entire universe. But I've never actually had a reason to be convinced that, video evidence of aliens or whatever. I've never been really convinced that we've ever actually been visited by aliens, seen actual sightings of UFOs or anything like that. So, I mean...
So that's where the Fermi paradox theory comes in. The theory that aliens might not exist.
Right.
Or if they do exist, they're not.
Right. If they do exist, I don't think they're anywhere near here. I mean, and so, but here's another article here that says aliens have visited Earth. Space entrepreneur Robert Bigelow believes aliens are among us. That's the gist of comments made by billionaire space entrepreneur Robert Bigelow on CBS 60 on Sunday.
That was one of the things I wanted to bring up.
What's that?
So, see what you're saying right now. That's one of the things I wanted to bring up.
Yeah. So basically, what he's saying is we have been visited by aliens, but the thing is, I'm just looking for some more spots for this, the rest of this article to see if there's anything convincing. Bigelow noted during the interview May 28th that his grandparents spotted a UFO. Well, here's the thing about that. And this might be my inner conspiracy theorist talking or whatever, but there's been a lot of people over the years who have said they've seen a UFO. Now, a UFO doesn't necessarily have to be, an alien spacecraft, because, I mean, think about it this way. Going back to World War II times, we know that, scientists in the military have been working on all kinds of different crafts, right? Spacecrafts that you wouldn't even, nobody would even ever believe are actually real, right? Like, you got the Nazi Bell, for instance. It's literally a bell-shaped aircraft that was made to hover around like a flying saucer, but it was in the shape of a bell. But the bottom of it was rounded, almost like a flying saucer. It looked like basically a flying saucer in the sky, flying around and stuff. So, but then you also got the B-52 bomber, for instance. People thought that was like an alien spacecraft the first time they saw that. So, it's just that the military and scientists are always working on all kinds of different flying objects. I have never been convinced that any of the things that I've seen in videos and whatnot are actually spacecraft. Because to tell you the honest to God truth, nothing surprises me anymore. The things that scientists in the military are capable of.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? There's just so many technological advances, and especially when you think of all the different things that the Nazis worked on, for instance, back in World War II. Some of that stuff's just absolutely insane. Even back then.
For sure, dude.
But reading on from more of this article, there's another subcategory in here that reads hostile alien. Cosmologist Stephen Hawking believes that not only the aliens are out there, though he doesn't think we'll find them anytime soon, but that they could destroy humanity. Another believer in hostile aliens is film director Ridley Scott, who recently told agents France Presse that extraterrestrial beings exist, and if they decide to visit planet Earth, humans should watch out. Quote, "If you are stupid enough to challenge them, you will be taken out in 3 seconds," Scott told AFP. So...
That's intense.
That's, again, if we ever were to actually, aliens were to, visit planet Earth, or, we were to come in contact with aliens or another, I don't think they would just be hostile for no reason. What reason would they have to just wipe us out? So,
well, like honestly, some people believe that we have aliens held captive, at like Area 51 and stuff, and like they've been around since like the 80s and stuff, and we've been learning stuff from them.
Yeah, I've heard that before, but again, that goes back to where I was saying, what... I mean, I get it, it's Area 51, of course they're not gonna take pictures of aliens and anything like that and release it, but I mean, yeah, I mean, that is a theory, that's something that I've definitely heard quite a few different people say, but it's actually funny that you mentioned Area 51, because I actually have an article right here about Area 51 and aliens and stuff. So it says NASA partner Robert Bigelow says he is absolutely convinced aliens are currently living on Earth. Extraterrestrials are living right under our noses. One of NASA's partners has said that he is absolutely convinced aliens exist and that they are living on Earth right now. Robert Bigelow, an entrepreneur who is working closely with NASA on future space missions, has suggested that he knows that our planet has an alien presence right under our noses. Mr. Bigelow made the announcement during an episode of the show 60 Minutes that focused on his work with the space agency. His company, Bigelow Aerospace, is developing an expandable craft for humans that can inflate and might provide the space habitats of the future. They have already been tested out in journeys to the International Space Station, and the two organizations are working on further cooperation. Let me see if I can... So, basically what he's supposing is kind of like what you said, like aliens are living around the area of like Area 51 and stuff, and of course you got like people claim to have especially seen like aircrafts and stuff like that around Area 51. But again, going back to what I said earlier about like weird spacecrafts and stuff that the military and scientists develop, especially around that area, Area 51 isn't just like a secretive base, but that area in general is like one of the biggest aircraft testing sites.
Oh,
so, yeah, so you can't just, it's crazy that people go out there to see UFOs and they see some kind of spacecraft or, aircraft, that they've never actually seen before, and they automatically assume it's alien.
Yeah, man, I think that's just people just assuming and jumping to conclusions and stuff.
Oh, absolutely. And, it's just, it's like I said, it's one of the biggest aircraft testing sites that there is. So, I don't see a solid reason to actually think that aliens have actually been around us. Or, not to say that they don't exist, but, just, I don't think they'll ever just come out here. I don't think they're gonna hop in a spacecraft, land in front of the White House or something and be like, give us all your gold, or like,
take us to your leader,
Take us to your leader, you're not gonna see the little green men, crawling out of a little flying saucer with like little ray guns or
Nah, man, like
you see in...
if aliens do come down, I hope that they're a lot like the ones from Paul,
Oh yeah, man.
Like, how lit would that be, man? They just come off with like doobies and stuff,
Yeah, dude. No, it'd be like, no. If aliens do exist and they do like land in front of the White House or something, I hope they're like the aliens that are mixed with like the ones from Paul and like the ones from like Scary Movie. Like they just come out of the aircraft, like peeing out of their fingers, like and just point it out, right? They just fucking like piss in it, like got a fucking doobie hanging out of their nose, out of their nose. Yeah, out of their nose. Yeah, there you go.
They're like just pissing out of their fingers and taking bong hits, dude.
Yeah, dude.
That's
God,
crazy.
they wear like beanies and stuff, like bell bottoms.
Oh my god.
Like, take us to see John Lennon, man.
Oh man. No, man, it's just like
John Lennon died like 40 years ago or whatever,
Yeah. Nah, man, no, they actually have him captive. He didn't actually die. They took him,
Oh my god, no, but you come down and they like totally invaded John Lennon. They took him out to outer space and like John Lennon isn't actually dead. He just kind of like walks off a flying saucer and he's like holding a joint in his hand. He's like, so good. So good. Yeah. I got some dope ass music up there, you know.
Oh my god.
Like, I actually formed the Beatles Part 2 again. So, like, oh jeez. But you know, keeping on the thing about aliens, you know, like, what do you, you know, like ancient aliens, like tied in with like the pyramids and stuff. Like I know people like to talk about that a little bit, like, because like still to this day we don't have the technology to like rebuild another pyramid like the Pyramid of Giza. You know what I mean? Like, there's no way that we would be able to actually like lift up those rocks and carve them just right so that they just fit just right in each little crevice, so it's just perfectly, you know, perfectly made so that no, you know, so it's stacked on top of each other like that. Like we cannot replicate that to this day. So I mean, what would you guys have to say about that? Like, would you say that was aliens, or do you think maybe back in the day we had technology that we don't actually have now? Because for sure, I don't personally think that, you know, people back then were just stupid. Like,
No.
I definitely don't. Because think about that for a second. They made the pyramids. Somebody made the pyramid. Was it aliens? Or did they have some kind of technology that we don't have access to this day?
It all depends on how long it took them to build it, you know? We don't know how long it took. I mean, yeah, sure, they might not have had the technology, and we might not have the technology replicated today in a decent amount of time, but that could have took them like over a couple hundred years.
It could have, but you got to think about it this way too: is people back in the day. Now, just for the simplicity, just for simplicity's sake, these things are dated back pre-flood. Now, it's no you know, it's not totally. It's a known fact that some kind of worldwide flood actually happened. Whether you want to believe that that's, you know, like it talked about in the Bible, or like it happened that way, or whatever. But a worldwide flood did happen. You do your research on that or whatever, but a flood happened. Otherwise, you wouldn't be finding like fish fossils fucking mountains, you know. So,
yeah, that's true.
That's all I'm gonna say.
Well, actually,
you can go down that rabbit hole if you want to, but I'm telling you, man, there's like fish fossils that they're finding in mountains and all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, but with that, that leads back to the tectonic plate shifting and stuff and making structures.
Right, but at some point or another, there would have had to have been a worldwide flood. Otherwise, you wouldn't have, you know, like I said, fish popping up in mountains.
What I mean is, like, when you go back, like, you know, like pre-flood, like you were saying, or whatever, if when you go back that far, even the geography of the Earth changes, and I mean, yeah, we might not have as much water, we might even have more water than what we had way back then, but when it comes to the land structure, then tectonic plates shifting and stuff like that, and causing volcanoes and everything, volcanoes drying up and everything, they make like massive mountains sometimes. I mean, the world's always changing, and back then, mountains over time, you know, I mean, over like hundreds and hundreds of years now, I mean, maybe even thousands, mountains just form. So I mean, if the tectonic plates somehow moved under the water, maybe caused a tsunami at one point, yeah, there would have been a crazy flood, but that would have also it could have caused like a mountain from underwater to rise up.
No, yeah, right. No, but basically what I was trying to say, or like, even if that did happen though, then that would still have to mean that at some point or another there was a flood, fish popped up on the mountain, this mountain comes up, boom, you got a fish on top of the mountain. That's, you know, but what I was gonna say was, these pyramids date back pre-flood era.
Yeah.
The thing about that era is people lived for a long time. Again, that's one of those things that was recorded in history where people lived like hundreds of years, right? Mm-hmm. So, if you take that into consideration, then even back then, it would have been that one ruler or what have you, and it would have been that one ruler and just these people working on these pyramids, and they would have been done in a couple hundred years, and it would have been no big deal, or even less. You know what I'm saying? Because people lived, 7 to 900 years. I think. Methuselah lived I think it was somewhere between 900 to 1,000 years or something like that. That one guy lived that long. You know what I'm saying?
Damn.
So if you can have one guy that lives that long, then if some people were to come together and be hey, maybe we'll build a pyramid, yeah, we'll just do it. Then it wouldn't have been a big deal. A couple hundred years, just
That's true, I guess.
But then, another thing is, in some of we were talking about, but so what I was trying to get at initially was just that it's possible that could have happened. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, definitely.
They had some kind of technology that we didn't know about. I mean, there's even some kind of some other stuff that they actually believe is possibly satellites and some gold and stuff that's laced throughout the pyramids and stuff, which is supposedly could be gold is what's the word I'm looking for electricity flows through it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, circuits. You mean?
Not circuits. A certain word I'm looking for. Anyway, electricity flows through it. I can't think of the correct word right now because I can never think of correct words for anything. So, basically, what they believe is that possibly they could have been able to have electricity in the pyramid.
I mean, I can sort of see that, but what would be the point of having electricity?
Oh, there is no point. Why not? But what I'm saying is they weren't idiots back then. They knew how to do stuff. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm getting at. So, again, and the other thing that a lot of people like to say too is, being that these countries and whatnot are so far apart, and they were just stupid, and they didn't have any communication with each other. But then they found cocaine in one of the Egyptian tombs.
Really?
Now, if you can honestly tell me that these people were stupid and didn't have any means of communicating with each other or getting around to other places or whatever, which I don't know how they did that or whatever, but if you can find cocaine, which the only place that the only place that the cocoa leaf is native to is South America. That's a hefty way from Egypt.
That's true.
You can't just find cocaine, or it's either that, or maybe back in the day they were able to, maybe the climate was completely different. Maybe they were able to grow cocoa plants, or maybe they just knew how to grow cocoa plants over there. But, I don't know. Honestly, while they're either way, they weren't stupid, and there's no way they couldn't have not had some kind of communication with each other, because there's even all kinds of different languages written in all kinds of weird places around the world where language isn't native to, or hasn't been native to, or has isn't native to that land, or hasn't been native to that land ever. So it's in some way, shape, or form, they had some way of getting around the world and talking to each other. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't think they were stupid. Because it's crazy. And the other thing you have to take into consideration too is it's man's nature to just be curious with different things. You know what I mean? So it's they'll find ways to if you give a guy a rock, he's gonna make fire with it. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah, man. Our minds are made for that kind of stuff. If we pick up something that we don't know what to do with, then we try and find things to do with it so that we can figure out what it's for.
yeah, exactly. And I really think that back in the day, I don't think that people were dumb. I really do think that they had ways of doing things that we don't know how to do now. Because I mean, like I said, all that pre-flood stuff, yeah, I really do think that um, we might have lost some of that information, and in some sense or another, kind of started over again and lost some of that knowledge. So, it's just something to think about. Like maybe we lost that knowledge and we're starting in this new way, and we're building back up to what maybe building back up to what we were before, or maybe even just building something completely new and losing some of that knowledge that we had before. So while we may not be able to do certain things that we couldn't do before, we can do different things now that we couldn't do back then.
Yeah.
So it's crazy, man.
Yeah, man, you don't know if we had a fresh start or not.
Yeah, right. I mean, it's crazy, and it's just people, even looking back at like some of the old maps that used to be around and stuff. I mean, one minute you don't know if one minute maybe we didn't know that one country. I mean, even now, like maybe back then we didn't know if one country existed or another country. But like now, we have this whole mapped out, this whole map of the whole world and stuff, and we have all these different countries and whatnot. But like, what if there's still different areas of the world that we have yet to discover? Like, do you ever think about that?
I mean, I'm sure there probably is, maybe, that we haven't physically been to, but parts that we haven't discovered, I highly doubt it because of all the satellites we have.
True.
For sure we've discovered it all, but maybe we haven't been there before, yeah.
I don't know. Sometimes, I mean, but do you ever think like maybe like we haven't actually been to the moon or something? Like, do you ever think about stuff like that? Like, maybe we haven't been to the moon. Like, maybe we're a lot less. Maybe we are. See, there's two different ways you could go. Like, on one hand, you could say, hey, maybe we're a lot less technologically advanced than what we're told. And then it's like, on another hand, you think, well, maybe we're more technically advanced than what we're actually. Like, the government has like all this secret, like technology that we don't know about and that we probably won't know about for like 10 or 20 years or something. Because like, some people like to say, on one hand, like I said, that we're not as technologically advanced as they say we are or whatever. But like, then you think there's also this saying that goes around that, oh, the government is like, or like scientists and stuff are like, 10 or 20 years technologically more advanced than we are. Like, we don't actually see that technology until like 10 or 20 years later.
Yeah.
So, that's crazy to think about. If that's actually true, then by those standards, we had computers a long time ago.
Well, I mean, it's kind of true. Like, there are some things that tie into that, and I mean, that you might not notice, but that actually kind of happened. Because, I mean, when you think about it, I mean, I don't mean to be completely fictional, but in Black Ops 2, for example, you see the drones, right? The flying drones with the gun.
Yeah.
When Black Ops 2 first came out, drones weren't a thing. Like, we never knew anything about drones, right? But after Black Ops 2, I mean, a few years later, and now we can go to Walmart and buy remote control drones with cameras.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, and honestly, I saw a picture on Facebook the other day, and somebody actually had one of those small drones. I mean, they were like really cheap. You can get really, really small ones. There's no camera or anything on it. All you do is just fly it around. And I mean, it's no bigger than like your mouse or like a mug. And somebody actually strapped C4 to one. Like they took small clay bits of C4, because I mean C4 is kind of just like clay, and just stuck 4 pieces of it on each corner and flew it and up into the sky and just exploded it. And I'm just like, dude, why would you post that on Facebook? Now, you could give someone ideas, right?
Yeah.
Like, that's insane. It's crazy.
Yeah, dude, that's nuts. I mean, you know, just some of the things that we're capable of now, dude. It's insane.
It's insane.
But, what do you think, Connor?
It's scary how far we've come.
Absolutely, man. Like,
Yeah, you lived 20 years ago.
I know. And look, 20 years from now.
Yeah, man. I mean, I remember when we never had internet, and like when we did get internet, it was like dial-up and stuff, right?
Yeah.
And now look at us, like you can have internet everywhere you go.
Dude, it's...
Ooh. I even remember that dial-up noise.
Yeah, the static. I remember being at the the dinner table and my mom saying, "Yeah, don't use the internet after dinner. I got a phone call planned on coming, you know."
Oh yeah.
Because if you're using the internet, it's like the phone. It's like you're calling someone, you know. It says you're busy.
Yeah.
Oh.
See, yeah, like luckily in my house, like in my personal house anyway, we never had dial-up. Like, I mean, like we had, we got Comcast pretty quick. I mean, maybe I was just, you know, I was pretty young or whatever, but I remember my grandmother having dial-up, but I can't remember if we had dial-up. I can't actually remember, but I do remember dial-up from when she had it. Man. It's crazy because still to this day, she has those wacky, internet companies and like internet plans that like interfere with your phone. So if you're on the internet at the same time, your phone won't.
Oh yeah, because it goes by your landline, not by a satellite.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, I tell you, trying to get a hold of her is not fun.
Yeah, I remember growing up and it's like, in order to have internet, you had to have a phone because it always ran through the landline.
Yep.
But now you can just get like a Google Home or something from Walmart and bam, you got internet.
But man, going on from, some of the weird stuff, like building pyramids, stuff like that. What if back then, like, people had like some kind of like, on top of like living for long periods of time, like 800 years or whatever? What if like, what if those people had like superpowers or something?
Oh man, when you said that, I was thinking like when you were talking about the fact that they can live forever, or not forever. Sorry, when they can live for like 900 years and stuff. The first thing that came to mind was, what if there was someone like 900 years ago, say for example, that literally is still alive today, and like he's just walking around now like normal, just blending in.
Dude, that'd be nuts.
Like, how crazy would that be? It'd be like being a vampire or something from like the 40s.
I mean, like, that would be insane, but like, you gotta think about it this way, is like, the reason why people lived so long back then was because the oxygen was like way cleaner, it was way more pure.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Blah 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 and stuff like that. Like after all that, like after the flood happened, that's when people started to live approximately 75 years at most.
Okay.
And there was a long period of time where people just hardly even lived to be like 75 years. It was like, because like people had a hard time with like you looking back to like the medieval times and stuff like that, people had a hard time with like hygiene and stuff like that, so
yeah.
like people used to get sick and stuff all the time, and they would just die pretty quick and whatever, and
the common cold killed people all the time anyway.
Yeah, that was a big problem. So I mean, so that just, that is definitely something, just insane to think about. Like, what if somebody would still manage to live like 100 years or something to this day? Like, that would be insane. Like, even if there was just like one guy on Earth that would just live 1,000 years or something, dude, can you imagine the stuff he's seen?
Oh
like,
man.
Dude.
Imagine how smart that guy would be. Like, think about it. If you knew you were gonna live for like 1,000 years, just like, what would you learn? Like, I would literally try and learn everything. Like, if that was me, if I knew I had a long time here, I might as well make the best out of my time, you know?
Oh, for sure, man. Yeah, I totally agree. You know, like if I was gonna live like 1,000 years, I would do like not only would I pursue an event. I mean, if you're gonna live like 900 years, you would definitely be able to do whatever it is, like your dream. Like you would
Oh,
definitely
for
fulfill
sure.
your dream. So like, not only would I pursue like a music career, but I would pursue like I'd become like a car mechanic. I would like I don't know, like, I'd become like a historian or something, you know? I would just learn everything I can about like everything and do everything. I'd become an actor. I would be a historian. I'd pursue a music career, and then like every like 100 years, change myself up a little bit, and then try to pursue another music career in like a different genre. Like
It'd be super cool to like live as if you had like multiple lives, you know? Like if you live for like 900 years, say like live as if you had 9 lives, you know?
Yeah, man. That'd be insane.
That'd be super cool.
What would you do if you could live for 900 years, Connor? Connor?
Drink myself to death. No, I can't.
Same, dude.
Man, okay, I don't want to be that guy, but honestly, if I knew I would live until I'm like, 900 or whatever, I'd do all the drugs.
Oh yeah.
I would at least try all the drugs because, think about it. Even if I just have like 100 years, right? Say if I'm addicted to heroin for like 100 years or whatever, I still got another 800 to go.
Yeah, man, but the thing, like, heroin, that's like no good, dude. Like, you could definitely die on that.
Oh yeah, I mean, but I'd still, if I knew I would live a really long time, I'd totally try every drug within those 900 years, you know?
I mean, you ain't even gonna, like... I mean, trying it, I guess I could see, but, like... Dude, like, people die and, like...
Oh, yeah, I don't mean I'm just gonna be like, yeah, I'm just gonna be a heroin addict for 100 years, you know? I mean, I don't mean I'm gonna be on it for 100 years. I mean, like, if I happen to actually get addicted to it from trying it, then I still got a lot of my life left to live, you know? I can just get off of it 100 years later.
Oh man, and you just keep telling yourself, oh, I'm gonna get off of it today. I'll do it tomorrow. It's fine.
And then like 200 years later, you're like, oh man, I still got like 300 left. And then, you're at like 800 and you're like, oh shit, my life's almost over.
Jeez, eventually you're just gonna end up spending like $8,000 a day on like heroin or something.
Oh my god.
Dude, that's...
I mean, in 900 years, if I don't learn how to make my own heroin, then, there's no point.
Oh yeah, for sure. For sure. Yeah, I mean, if you can't supply yourself, then what's the point?
Yeah, dude.
But, man, I mean, that would just be crazy. Like, I would totally be able to live life to the fullest and be able to do everything I wanted to do. Like, that
Definitely.
Would be crazy. That would be absolutely insane. So,
Might as well.
yeah, for sure. Let's see. If you could do, like Connor, like what would you do if you could live for like 800 or like 900 years? Like besides just like drink yourself to death eventually, but like 4 or 5 things that you really want to just like pursue in like that like 900 years.
Well, 800, 900 years, plenty of time to save up and travel the world.
That'd be pretty sweet.
Yeah, dude, that'd be rad.
And maybe even attempt to try out one of those those like space tours.
Oh yeah, you mean like those ones where like all the rich people are going for like a couple mil or something to fly into space?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, I think it's like $200,000.
Yeah, I knew I was kind of exaggerating. I couldn't remember how much it was, but yeah, I heard about that. Like flying to Mars and stuff.
No, you just like fly into space.
Huh. That'd be super cool.
And it's only 3 hours.
3 hours?
Dude,
3 hours. Yep. 3-hour tour.
Yeah, but man, if I had 200 grand to throw away, yeah, I'd totally do that.
oh, for
Oh
sure.
yeah. Oh yeah. Never Mars.
Yeah,
No
that takes
doubt,
probably
like,
like 30 years to get there.
If you
Not
lived
only
that
that-
long, you would definitely become a millionaire at some point or another.
Oh yeah. Not only that, but it's even been said that like once you're on Mars, you're not coming back to Earth ever.
Oh, gee. Rip.
I
Well,
haven't really looked into as why that is, but
oh, I don't
it's
know.
been confirmed.
Like gravity or something. You know, like some kind of gravitational pull to like Mars or something. It just kind of like grabs a hold of you, like some kind of massive black hole or something. It's just like you can never leave.
Depends on the size, I guess.
That's what she said.
True.
You had to go there.
Of course. And speaking of going to strange, unadulterated places,
Oh boy.
6 real people with mind-blowing mutant superpowers.
Oh
So,
jeez.
this is an article that I found earlier that's, you know, just like, I don't know, I started looking up like superpowers and stuff like that. You know, like imagine if like people back in the day like that lived 800 or 900 years had like superpowers or something. Like some of these are just insane, and like it's crazy to read about real people who like actually have this stuff. Like this dude can like touch insane amount of just like what is it like jolts of like electricity, you know, and he doesn't get hurt. Like Mr. Ziang Ang is a man capable of something not many others are or would have a practical reason to be. He can touch live wires filled with scrotum popcorning electricity and feel no pain whatsoever. Like,
Wow.
could you imagine that? Like, just being able to take like, I don't know, like pull apart like like jumper cables or something like that, and just like boom, just like put your hand on it and be like,
Man,
you know, it's all good.
that'd be insane. It's like those infamous games, you know.
Yeah, dude, it's crazy.
Oh yeah.
Imagine like you could absorb the energy and stuff and like be powerful and everything.
Yeah,
Even
dude,
the
become-
energy inside people.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, you could become like Emperor Palpatine or something.
If you choose evil karma.
Yep. I definitely choose it. I choose it. Dude, I want to shoot electricity out of my fingers. Are you kidding me?
Oh yeah, I'd choose that over fire.
Not-
Yeah,
I don't
I think
know.
I would too.
I probably wouldn't. I like fire. I'm
Oh
a
man,
pyromaniac, dude.
you're in the minority here. Get your shit straight.
Oh, come on. Man, you can't tell me like it wouldn't be cool to be able to snap your fingers and then like have a little flame to take a hit off your bong from, man.
You edgy little 12-year-old.
Or like imagine trying to light your cigarette and you're like, oh man, I forgot my lighter at home. And then you're just like, oh yeah, and then you snap your fingers and you have a flame, you know?
Flame on, Johnny.
Okay, yeah, let's get into some Fantastic Four stuff here.
Yeah, man.
Speaking of space and
Fantastic
superpowers and
Four
stuff.
up in here. We're like, except we're not the Fantastic Four. We're like the Fantastic Two, because we're the only cool kids who shoot electricity.
Oh my god.
Yep.
Yeah, get your flame on out of here.
Oh boy. When did this become a roast?
Oh,
Bring on
literally,
the
get
feast.
it? Roast. Yeah, roast with the fire, you know?
Oh my god.
Oh man, I'm gonna stop now. So apparently this guy, moving on to another superpower here. This guy can run forever. His name is like Dean
I think I heard of that.
Arneson or something like that. And American long distance runner capable of inhuman feats of endurance. Such running 50 marathons in each of the 50 states in 50 consecutive days in a row.
Oh my god.
Dude, could you imagine that? Like, dude, running like 50 marathons 50 days in a row around 50 states? That's insane.
Dude. That's
Dude,
incredible.
That's like some Forrest Gump shit right there.
Oh my god.
Run, Forrest, run!
I love you, Jenny.
I
The spirit.
love you, Jenny. Oh, jeez.
Oh my god.
Okay,
For real.
what else we got? What were you saying?
So this better not be some Lance Arms shit we're talking.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely, man. That's what we got up here. Like, we got this guy, Stephen Wiltshire, has a perfect visual memory.
Ooh.
Stephen Wiltshire can look at a city once and draw it from memory. That's insane.
Okay, so I kind of know someone that's sort of like that. My buddy Jesse. Well, his dad, he's a tattoo artist, but he also has like slight photographic memory where, like he's read the Bible like 2 or 3 times, and he can actually like the way his brain works. He actually described it to us once. He actually remembers the Bible where he can take any quote from anywhere, and he can like if you give him a quote, he'll tell you exactly where it's from, and he's not even religious. It's just that he's read the Bible because he knew he'd remember it. He knew he had this photographic thing. But when it comes to him doing tattoos, he has this weird thing where he can look at something and it kind of like burns the image into his head almost. Where like he can just stare at it for a little bit, and then like when he looks away at something else, he can still imagine it there, and he can kind of just like draw it out, you know?
Yeah.
It's kind of like tracing, so it works perfect for tattooing because he can just look at the image and then look at them, and even if they do have the stencil on or whatever, but it still helps him when it comes to drawing it, right?
Yeah, right.
With the shading and whatnot. It's pretty cool.
So what is he? Is he a pretty good artist?
He's alright, yeah. I mean, every tattoo artist has their own styles and whatnot. I mean, he has his ups and downs with certain things, but I mean,
Right.
I've seen all of his work, and he's pretty crazy.
Oh man.
I was thinking about getting my first tattoo from him. I mean, for one, I know him growing up. I mean, my best friend's dad, right? But other than that, I mean, he's done a lot of work anyway. He's done all of Jesse's tattoos for him, so it's his son. So.
Oh yeah, dude, that's awesome. Have you thought about getting a tattoo lately? Like, what are you thinking about getting?
Oh man, I've wanted a tattoo for like ages, for like the past probably 4 or 5 months, but I just couldn't afford it at the time. I mean, I could afford it now, or like I could have not bought my guitar and got a tattoo instead. But I really want a tattoo, but I know they're insanely expensive. But I want to get like an owl on my forearm, but it's a cool owl. It has like a dream catcher for a stomach, you know.
Oh yeah, that'd be dope.
Yeah, it's pretty. It's almost like a bluish, but I mean, I'm just gonna keep it black. But the way the picture is it's a black owl, and it's got like these weird design to it. It's not like an actual just furry owl. It actually has like triangle shapes and stuff to actually form an owl. And the owl, like, it has like really bright and big blue eyes, and that's really cool. And it goes down and it has like a dream catcher with feathers on the end, and it's pretty sick.
Oh yeah, is there a lot of nice like color in it and stuff?
Not a hell of a lot. It's mostly just the blue eyes, but it really makes it stand out.
Oh yeah, for sure, yeah. Connor, do you have any tattoos?
Not yet, I'm afraid.
Are you thinking about getting anything?
I'm still considering getting Bane.
Oh yeah, you were telling me about that, dude. That'd be dope.
It would be
If you're
dope.
all about doing that, when do you think you'll be doing that?
I gotta look up how much it'll cost first.
It's probably not that much. I've got I mean, I guess you could say I have 4 tattoos if you count each individual character, but really I got the one on my forearm. The one I've got is a Sonic team. I got Sonic, Tails, and Knuckles. It's pretty sizable. It takes up most of my forearm. It's pretty nice. Dude did a really good job. The guy who did it was a Sonic fan too, and so I mean he was just super stoked about doing it. 'Cause he was like, oh yeah, man, I love Sonic and whatever. And I got Neck the Weasel on my bicep/tricep. area-ish, you know, somewhere in between my biceps and triceps. Pretty nice. Dude did a really good job on that one. That was my first one, and planning on doing a whole Sonic review. My phone. That was good. So, yeah. So, I got that, and I'm planning on doing a full Sonic sleeve, and it looks pretty good, I think. So, pretty stoked about that. But yeah, man. So, tattoos are pretty nifty, man. You know, they're really nifty.
They're pretty rad, you know, man.
Totally tubular, bro.
Tubular?
Totally tubular.
This guy's living in the 80s.
Oh, man.
Dude, totally rad, man. Surf's up, bro. Oh, Sonic.
We're running in the 90s. Oh, jeez.
That came out way better than I thought it was going to.
Oh, man.
Oh, geez. You got this guy, kind of the same deal, going back to the superpowers thing. Kim Peek remembers everything, I guess. That's not exciting, honestly, but
remembers everything. Jeez.
Dude, this guy's sitting in the snow in his underwear, and it says he's cold proof.
Oh, he's got to be Canadian. He's got that, man. Like, Indian blood, dude.
Nah, man, he's got like a polar bear in his backyard. He's like one of those guys you hear in like Canada who's all like, hey, do you guys want to come to my backyard? I've got a polar bear in my backyard. He's chained up against the tree, you know.
Oh, jeez.
He's chained up against my maple tree, you know. You should come on back, buddy.
Yeah, man, you should come over and we can get some maple syrup from my maple tree, you know.
Yeah, man, we can get some maple syrup out of my maple tree. You know what I'm saying? Oh, what are you at there, buddy? So, we got, and this last one is Sao Machi lives in the Matrix. What does that even mean?
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, that's like, dude, we were talking about some stoner stuff on the last episode. This is stoner stuff, like, right here. Like, screw the magic microwave. Like, this dude lives in the Matrix, dude.
This dude lives in the Matrix, man.
Dude, I don't even know what that means. This dude is just like out of his, like, just like screwed out of his mind, like every day. Just smokes like 20 bong hits a day.
Oh my god.
Could you imagine that? Like 20 bong hits a day?
I can see that. You'd be super lit like 24/7, but you know, yeah.
Isao Machi is a Japanese man with superhuman reflexes. I'm sorry. Which he stereotypically uses to do all sorts of amazing tricks with a katana.
Oh, jeez.
Dude, he can peel an apple with a katana.
What?
Dude!
That's some Mortal Kombat shit, man.
Dude, that's insane. Dude, screw playing guitar. I need to pick up a katana and, like, get chicks by, like, peeling apples with a sword in front of them. That would be intense. Oh my god. Dude, we need one of these days we just need to buy like 4 katanas.
My brother has katanas,
we should both just like, dude, we buy like 4 katanas, we'll both like dual wield katanas and we'll like train each other. And like we'll fight each other like every day and like, yeah, I don't know, like probably get hurt extremely badly.
I was about to say, like, I can guarantee that if both of us have dual wield katanas and we have no idea what we're doing, we're definitely gonna get hurt.
Dude, but that'd be freaking dope though. Like we could like get like apples and stuff and just like practice like trying to peel apples with katanas.
Oh my god.
or just so we don't take this guy's thing, we could like trademark like peeling like pears or something with katanas.
Oh, shit. Or like oranges or something.
Yeah, dude, that would be dope. Or like even better, like grapefruits or something. Dude, like, no, what if instead of like katanas we used like a machine gun to like
what?
Dude, like you just have this like superhuman like trajectory of like an absolute boss.
Oh my
and
god.
You shoot the skin off the pear of the apple or whatever, you know.
You just like you're basically Duke Nukem with a minigun. Just like peeling bananas and shit with a minigun. It's like, oh yeah, just gotta get my daily citrus vitamin C, you know.
Daily vitamins. No, it'd like dude, you could like. What if you could take like a grenade and you could like just, I don't know, I guess like figure out the exact distance that a grenade would affect like a pear, and like there's just like all this math involved and stuff, and like you could take like 4 grenades and peel like each side of the pear with like just like the ass end of like a grenade exploding with a pear, like.
Yeah, but you do realize that a grenade is just shrapnel, right? Like.
No, yeah, but you'd take like the explosion and then it would just like, you know.
Oh my god.
Dude, they're like even better. You could like calculate the exact way that the shrapnel would shoot out of the grenade, so you could just like use all the shrapnel from the grenade to like peel all the different sides of the pear or like the apples or whatever.
Oh my god, that's like some
Dude,
Mythbuster stuff.
Dude, that would be. Dude, yeah, dude, we gotta get like what's that guy's name? Adam Savage or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh man. Oh jeez.
Imagine getting Adam Savage on the show, man.
Dude, like I want to start getting some big YouTubers on here, man. That's why everybody watching this video right now is gotta stay tuned for the rest of the channel. You know, like, you know, you keep watching. You know, we're gonna have some crazy people on here. I promise. You know, I definitely want to get some,
man.
Yeah, dude, I want to get some crazy people on here. Like, I want to get like Adam Savage would be sweet. Dude, you know what would be even more insane if we could get like Matt Shadows from like Avenged Sevenfold.
Oh, what are you fucking nuts?
Like, dude, like I mean, hey man, shoot for the stars, am I right?
I mean, I guess, but man, damn.
Shoot for the stars, dude. We would have to have like at least 1 million subscribers by then.
Oh yeah, for sure, dude. Like, at least.
At least, like you're probably looking at more like 1.5 or like 2 million.
I don't know, man. If I wanted to get like M Shadows on there, like, dude, you gotta think about it. Like, yeah, sure, we might have like a couple million people that watch our videos or whatever, but like when it comes to popularity, you gotta realize how many records and shit that they've sold. Like a couple million is like nothing to them.
Wait, what were you saying? Sorry, I just totally fell out of my chair.
Oh my god.
No, like I was like leaning backwards in a chair, like I probably shouldn't have been doing in the first place, and I just totally fell back on my ass.
Oh, that's beautiful.
I know.
No, I was saying even if we did have like 1.5 million or whatever, that is like, it's still really low considering like they probably sell like probably 3 or 4 million copies of every single that they put out, you know?
Oh, easy, for sure. I mean, they're one of the biggest bands in the world, so yeah, definitely.
That's what I mean.
No, but I mean, Matt Shadows, he's still a person. Like everybody in Avenged Sevenfold is still a person. So it's like, I just, it's something to shoot for the stars for, or like have like James Hetfield from like Metallica or something on here, like dude, that would be crazy. That would be, dude, having just like band members in general on here, like of bands that I'm like, just a fan of in general would be like super sweet. Because like, think about it. It wouldn't be like an interview, like we would just have them on just to talk about stupid stuff and like have fun with it,
Yeah, man, like I don't know if you've seen YouTube channels before, like I can't remember what they call it and whatnot, but they have people on and they literally just ask them like really stupid questions, and it makes them like, it gets into their comfort zone, like instead of being kind of stuck up and talking about music all the time, and they kind of just like talk about random stuff like tweets and everything.
No, yeah, man, that's what I want to do. Like, I mean, obviously, of course I'd be like, what's the writing process for your songs or whatever. But then, of course I would be like, aliens, though.
Yeah, like if you could have a superpower, what would it be,
Yeah, dude.
Do you believe in the pick of destiny?
Do you believe in the pick of destiny? Could you imagine having like Sinister Gates or something out here? Like, dude, do you believe in the pick of destiny?
No, dude, imagine if they said yes. The conversation that we would have would be amazing.
Dude, that would be beautiful.
Imagine if we got like fucking Jack Black on there and was like, hey, do you actually believe in the pick of destiny?
No, in all seriousness, Matt Shadows, Sinister Gates, James Hetfield, a few manage to watch this video or, you know, anything like that, it'd be super dope to have you on, you know. It'd be super sick. You know, we just want to talk about some stupid shit, you know.
Yeah, man, why not?
Yeah, it'd be super dope, dude. Like, that'd be like crazy too, you know, like, man. But, you know, on that note, I think after talking about having famous people on the show and having some of our idols on the show, that would be super dope. You know, of course, we would love to have, you know, you guys on the show sometime. You know, James Hetfield, Sister Gates, Matt Shadows, you know, what have you. It'd be super dope. I mean, honestly, it's super dope to have anybody on the show. Connor, you know, awesome having you, dude. Like, you know, you're one of my best friends, so of course, you know, it's been super dope. You know, love talking about some stupid shit. So, but I think we're gonna have to wrap it up here because I think we're doing, you know, pretty good.
Yeah, man, it's been about an hour and 10 minutes. I mean, I don't know if if the video is gonna be an hour and 10 minutes long. I mean, we might have to cut a couple of things out and, like, you know, dead space and stuff. But like, when it comes to the time right now, we're at 1:12. It just hit. Or an hour and 12. Sorry.
Yeah, man, for sure. But yeah, Connor, you know, it's been dope having you. Thanks for being here, and you know, of course, you know, I'm the Weasel, and he's a generic Canadian.
Yeah, man. Connor, it was a good time, man. I don't talk to you all that much, but like, Knack, I should say, he mentions you all the time, man, about like stuff that you're in calls and whatnot. Like, I hear your name all the time. I just don't talk much.
Yeah, man, it's been dope having you. But on that note, we'll talk to you guys in the next video, and thanks for watching. Make sure you like, subscribe, all that good stuff. Thanks for watching again, and peace out.
See ya.